So all of this up and down, spin around, jumping up and down that this guy's doing, none of that's happening today. Like pure amateurs when I went into this. Like this guy is a pro. You know, I would hope that we do a bit of this, but let's see. Hey guys, so I'm at iFLY and it's indoor skydiving, and basically we're going to be doing VR skydiving and also regular indoor skydiving. I'll show a video of what it looks like and some photos as well.
A few moments later.
So bearing in mind, before we started this, they actually taught us that we're not meant to jump. And look at me here, look. Why am I jumping? And honestly, the wind is blowing so much, you just lose all your memory in terms of what they've taught you to do. So he tries to tell me again, like, don't jump, just put your hands up and fall. But the wind is blowing so much, it almost seems impossible, like what he's doing. But, I get there in the end. You can see my mouth is open. Is because I'm honestly trying to decide whether I'm able to breathe through my nose or if I have to breathe through my mouth. Honestly, it's just silly. Like, and guess what? Silly me, like I've got my watch on my wrist, and they specifically told us to get rid of all of our watches or any jewelry just in case they come off your hand and they just fling in the air because of how much wind is being blown in that tunnel. And I don't know why I forgot, but yeah, I had to start again. Here goes my second round. This is my favorite round, actually. This is where I felt, I'm flying, And the funny thing is that there's a kind of posture that they tell you that you have to put your hands in. So your hands have to be kind of in front of you, arched in a certain way. So there's a mirror that he points you towards so he can tell you how your hands should be. And your legs basically need to be straight, like you're planking, but it's almost impossible to do that because the wind is blowing so much. But yeah, you can see my mouth is open. Yeah, I'm drooling everywhere, I haven't figured out how to breathe yet. So yeah, I look like a dog with his head out the window. But yeah, this is where it gets really sick. Like, I'm actually floating, the instructor's floating. At this point, I don't even know what's going on. I just think the instructor's holding me up and carrying me up and down. But I didn't even realize until watching this back that I'm floating. I'm floating. So yeah, this was amazing. This was really cool. So no backflips, nothing amazing. I'm just floating. But it was worth it. Like, I loved it. And there he goes again. He tells me that my hands are not straight, basically. That's why I'm sinking. And honestly, when you're in there, it's not as fun as you think. Like, look, oh my God. Oh my. Yeah, you've probably seen all my cavities and all my teeth. But yeah, so this was my next flight. And then in this one, I found it very difficult to try and get the posture that I needed. But it was fun, but it just felt so much wind is being blown into your face. Like, it's just so disorientating. I really wanted to, in this one, the instructor to kind of fly beside me and be floating, but it just never happened. But I think it's because I've got my legs wide instead of actually them closed. So you can see me sinking quite a bit, and the instructor has to kind of pull me up. But bearing in mind, it's so noisy. Like, the wind is blowing so much. Like, it's almost like putting your head in between like two jet engines basically blowing. It's just so much wind. And the funny thing is that they tell you need to relax, but like, it's impossible to relax because you're tensing every single muscle in your body. My final round of indoor skydiving was actually with the VR goggles, and I actually chose to be flying down the Alps, and honestly, it's the most disorientating thing you could ever feel, basically, because you're almost in the indoor skydiving, you're stationary, but with the VR goggles, you're actually floating down a mountain cliff. So your brain thinks you're moving, but your body is telling it that it's still. So you end up just feeling so dizzy. Like I was so dizzy when I was doing this, and the instructor's trying to move me around to kind of make me feel like I'm in the actual VR, floating up and down. But it doesn't quite work. Like honestly, if I was to do this again, I'd probably just not do the VR and just focus on trying to fly and float around, basically, because that bit at the end, it wasn't really worth it. I just felt so sick. Yeah, so at this point now, the guy goes, look, you guys are all amateurs. Let me show you how we do things. And we're just like, nah, he's just gonna do a simple kind of belly flop like how we do it, like how he taught us to do. We didn't even, bearing in mind, know that this guy is gonna be doing all sorts and that he's sick, you know, at indoor skydiving. So look, he jumps in there now. He's spinning on his feet, and I'm thinking, you told us that we have to be on our stomach. Like, how are you floating on one leg, two legs? He was doing some crazy stunts. So this is crazy. Like, how is he doing this? Like, but I think he's probably using like his hands and part of his body parts to like control the wind moving around him. But in my head, when I was watching him, I was thinking, I want to be like him one day. But when we spoke to him, he did say that you have to basically done like 2,000 hours of this, and each flight for us was about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So 2,000 hours is a lot, but it was fun.
A few moments later.
Indoor skydiving, it looks pretty cool.
It was scary.
It was scary. Like, at the end of it, my arms were aching. How was it for you?
It was really hard to keep afloat. It was very hard to keep my arms down, but I loved it. It was good.